Hi, my name is Cloudy and today let's discuss clean girl aesthetics, why I'm applying a clean girl makeup look and why I think it's just kind of a lie that you tell yourself about classism. And I put together a makeup bag that consists of products that I think would fit perfectly to this aesthetics, and I'm also pull out an outfit that would kind of representations of this kind of aesthetic. So let's apply them together. At first I'm going to use the Klairs Supple Blemish cream, also the AIRYDAY Golden Glow Dreamscreen SPF 50+. How ironic that I've just introduced the topic of today's video about clean girl thing, and now I dug my nail into the whole part of sunscreen. Not the most hygienic things ever. But anyway, what is clean girl aesthetics? I don't really have a definition for it because it's ambiguous. When you say clean, what is the definition of clean? I think it's more subjective in that way. So I have a visual image of a clean girl look. And like I said, that's why I pull out this outfit today, because there are certain items or certain traits of that aesthetic that would be more ubiquitous than the others. This might be like a simple tank top or a simple tee in general, but basic. And also gold jewelry. Yeah, I have quite a few pieces of gold jewelry on today. Slick back hair. I don't think that I'm the one for this hair style in general, because I think my head look kind of weird in this kind of hairstyle. But because I've just washed my hair, so it's still a bit damp, so that's why I can slick it back like this. But overall, I wouldn't do my hair like this. This is just for the sake of the video. And also maybe the girl with the green smoothie, or like a fancy cup of cafe, leather jacket, or something that's very simple but quiet luxury, you know what I mean? And of course, glowy skin, healthy skin, a juicy lips, very subtle makeup, like makeup, no makeup. Yeah, and the list goes on. And I think although it's appealing to a wide range of people, it definitely has a big demographic these days. It's kind of unattainable. Why is unattainable? Because I don't think that it's worth it to maintain that kind of aesthetics every day. And at the core basics of that aesthetics, it requires you to be pretty basics in a lot of things. So even like gold jewelry, you cannot just go for the gold jewelry, the kind of extraordinary over the top style that you like. You have to go for something that's basic. Even like the hair, the makeup, I feel frustrated if I have to maintain that kind of look every single day, let alone wearing the same boring outfit situation to go out every single day. I want colors, I want unique silhouette, I want interesting cuts, I want vibrant colors, I want flowers pattern, I want everything. I want to have multiple styles to go out every single day. I don't want to repeat my style. Repeating outfit is not a problem. Repeating style is a problem to me. I want to change my style from what I already have in my closet. The same thing with makeup, but I have to say I don't wear much makeup these days. And when I wear it, I do it very minimally. But that is just a very recent phenomenon to me. And from time to time, you can still see me doing interesting look. So that's kind of my vision for the look today. That I'm going to do something with a pop of color, but not just like neutrally basics, but still representing enough of that kind of aesthetics. So that's one thing. The second thing, also kind of one of the reasons why they try to keep that aesthetics so basic, is because they want to make sure that it's relevant to anyone. So there's nothing flashy there. There's no high-end items at all, in the way that you cannot detect any luxury in the kind of outfit. So that's why it's kind of called quiet luxury, and I find it interesting. Like, some people think it's a bad thing, some people think it's a good thing, that it creates more equity in the society in terms of how we look. And I think that's kind of one of the motivations of the aesthetics, that they want to look like the girl or the person that you like, but also better than the rest. I think that's the point when it gets a little bit problematic. It tries to emphasize the fact that they can just be anybody else, but on top of anybody else. In terms of they having like a comfortable lifestyle, top-notch services to health and well-being services, they're eating well, they're drinking enough water. Another thing is, recently is the Stanley Cups, but like previously, I mean in Australia, there would be the Frank Green large bottle. So they want to expose to the world that this is the lifestyle that I'm living right now, and it's kind of healthy, but it's just like anybody else. And by doing that, they kind of set the standard that this is the thing that even like a normal person can always do. And if you cannot do that as a normal person, you are a failure. Interesting. Like, they try to set an unrealistic standard. I mean, when I say they, I don't really know where I'm pinpointing at. It's just kind of people that unhealthily perpetuate that kind of idea. And if that no one on the internet right now, I would be surprised if that's the case. But if that's no one, maybe I'm wrong about this. But I believe, deep down I believe there are people that really try to portray that idea to their audience, that, oh, this is, you know, this is my daily life, I'm just a normal girl, I'm relatable, I'm the girl next door, the one you like, but I'm actually better than you. And if you cannot be in the same group as I am, you're absolutely a loser, because this is like a normal person things, right? But then it's not. It's just so hard to maintain that. Hard to maintain in terms of mentally. You have to stick to that same routine, same cycle every day. The second thing is that it's costly. I mean, look at their skin. Like, sometimes you can already tell that they have access to like doing facial every single week. But most of us can. We are doing 9-to-5 job. We don't earn that much money. We don't have sponsor from brands. We don't have technically time if we are doing a certain types of jobs. So we cannot be like them. Why we want to be like them? Because we don't have the same lifestyle. We don't have the same living conditions. We don't have the same financial situations. We don't have the same locations so that we can have access to those things. And generally, it's just a lie. It's just like a straight lie to tell people that, oh, everyone can do this. This is so simple. You technically can do it if you try to. No, but it's not good for me. Why do I have to try to do that? Yeah, and yeah, I think the skin today is dewy enough. And I chose today to do this video because I feel like my skin is kind of in a very nice conditions. Yeah, the best conditions ever in the last few weeks. So that's why it's kind of fit in the theme. The point is, my skin doesn't look like this all the time. And for the last few weeks, it has been so haggard. It's so bad. It's so rough. It's full of texture. I have breakouts. You can still see breakout right here. So nothing's perfect. Nothing is that clean. So if you claim that because I stay unhygienic so that I have breakout and I have skin texture, I would be mad. I would be very, very mad. And you have to take that into perspective when you use that word clean on everyone. Because our definition of hygiene and cleanliness is very different. Depends on the context, depends on the personality, and depends on, in general, the living situations and their culture in general. And part of the classism that I just said, one is about the, oh, I'm just like everybody else, but better. The second thing is also, it's kind of a thing that white people do, so that they have this kind of like a perfect Barbie futuristic image of themselves, but it's rarely applied for other races. And it's gonna be controversial, but I'm gonna say it. When you think of the epitome of clean girl aesthetics, would you think of a black girl? Would you think of an Asian girl? I'm Southeast Asian. Would you think of us as an example of good girl with that kind of clean look? Even though I'm trying to, like, yeah, I'm trying to apply like a clean girl makeup right now, and I think it's getting there, kind of. But would us, as a woman of color, be a fitting for that kind of aesthetic? Or is it just a makeup thing that white people use to reinforce their positions in the world, that they are more supreme than other races? And I think it has been talked about, that topic. I don't think that's kind of extreme that people try to replicate the clean girl aesthetic, that they would have that kind of thought that, like, okay, because I'm white, because I fit perfectly in that aesthetics, I have the financial viability to do that, so I keep doing that to prove that I'm better than other races. I don't think that's kind of intentional, but I think the persons, the one single entity that first coined it and now try to market, try to sell that aesthetics, I think deep down they think that, oh yeah, there would be only one group of girls that I can target to because they are the aesthetics. The people is the aesthetics. It's not about an idea, lifestyle, or goal that we are trying to achieve. It's about the people. And I think it's getting harder and harder to define that as, I mean, I'm trying to make sense out of it. Like, maybe people are not that evil, but the more I think about it, the more I feel like I'm not Hailey Bieber. I'm not Gigi Hadid. I'm not any other blonde, cool looking, conventionally pretty girl on the internet who are also white. Maybe the aesthetics wouldn't be for me because why? It doesn't look right on me. Ooh, there's too much blush. I don't know if that, like, in this aesthetics people would overly apply blush the way that I usually do, but... And to be honest, racism still exists. It exists in some parts of the world, it exists in certain groups of people with different type of religions, with different belief system. If they have certain core value that they trust, that races are the thing that would define people intellectually and socially, okay, good on you, keep on that. I don't care. But it's gonna be prevalent, more prevalent than you think when people try to market this aesthetics. What would be their target? You can see the models when they have, when they do like a campaign. So if you look at the marketing or like advertising campaign of those clean beauty or like clean brands in terms of like outfit, fragrance, body care, well-being care in general, they try to be inclusive, but 50% of the people that are models of that a campaign, they are still white. Because you cannot create inclusivity. You have to admit that, or like we have to deep down in our heart understand that this aesthetics is for one group of people because that's the way it was designed to be. You cannot tweak that into end and make it to fit other people because now you're trying to be inclusive. Or else it wouldn't be a design anymore. A design is a target. It's very, very precise. It has visions in mind, whether it's evil or for the good cause. It has a target audience. It has a target demographics. And I just want to let you know that it's okay to feel left out of this aesthetics, because this is not everything. It's just one single aesthetics that's gonna go away soon. It comes and goes, like trends, like fashion, like, yeah, like makeup products, like everything. It comes and goes. And a lot of people would feel like they are missing out on good things if they are not that cleaner, because you're not. Because we are not equally beautiful. We are not equally designed to fit in a certain type of thing. We find our ways. We struggle to find our way and navigate ourselves in the grand scheme of things. And then we pick something that presents us the best. And that's okay. So I've just used the cream blush in this kind of Apricot duo. I gotta show you shades difference, but now I think in this kind of makeup look, people wouldn't use powder, but like, I'm an oily girl, so see, I couldn't be that kind of clean girl because I have oily skin. I need some sort of powder. I need mattifying. I cannot be dewy all day because that's greasy, that's gross. That's the opposite of clean. See, there's so many things that you can argue about this unhealthy aesthetics when they use the word clean. Like, they can call it dewy, glowy all day, quiet luxury. I really like it because it points down to the fact that it's still luxury no matter what. You can call it everything, but just using the word clean is problematic for the list, because something that I consider to be clean would be unhygienic to someone else because we grew up in different households. Like, for example, in Vietnam, don't even think about drinking from the tap. Like, don't even think about not treating your water before you drink it. Like, we have to boil the water, let it cool down, and then use a filter to basically bring the water to the drinkable standard. And here in Australia, because I don't have any evidence that drinking water from the tap would be better or it would be of the standard. But because this is Australia, I pay a lot to be here, to be honest. This is a different world from where I came from. So I kind of have that hope, let's say, in the hygienic standards of the water system. So I drink water from the tap. But like, I know some people, they would argue with me that this is not unhealthy, it's gonna kill you one day, and like, they make a scene out of it. Like, they always think that drinking water from the tap is the biggest problem with this society. Like, I've never seen someone addressing that in that aggressive manner. See, that's a difference in our perspectives in terms of clean. What is clean, to be honest? And yeah, and sometimes when I hear that people leave their hair for the entire week or like a few weeks without washing it, I feel like, okay, well, maybe that's where they get that kind of slick back look, because of why they have to wear it in like a ponytail or like a bun like this the whole time. Because I grew up in a tropical country, it's so humid, and we have a long and intense storm/rain seasons. So it's just like our hair would get greasy and oily and damp, and you know, a lot of fungi and dandruff can develop if you leave your hair unclean for a long period of time. So I grew up knowing that I have to wash my hair every other day, and that's like 3 to 4 times a week. That's a lot. Does that consider to be clean? And people who leave their hair in this kind of climate for the entire week is considered to be unclean? No, it's a context. The context matters. So that's why the clean aesthetics is not a one size fit all. You can try to, but then it's gonna bite you back in another way. That's a different story. And that's me coming from the point of view that sometimes I feel that way too. I feel like maybe I'm not clean enough. Maybe when I look at those girls, because they all white, they have a certain type of look, their skin looks so beautiful. It feels like I never had an acne or pore in their entire life, and I feel jealous. And what is the reason for me feeling jealous about that when I know the reality? And when I think about that kind of issue in the different angles, I would find myself lots and lots of reasons for me to not feel angry at myself for not looking that way. But I think it's a very human thing to do, to not believing in ourselves. Or it's such as me, like I'm a girl who grew up insecure. Let's not talk about self-image, weight gain, weight loss, the whole thing. That's a bigger issue. But like, you know what I mean. All of those clean girls, they have a certain type of size and the body type. So I would feel very, very insecure about myself if I look at them for too long, because how can it be like them? I would never be like them, and nobody would like me if I don't look like them. But that's not a good reason, right? Because it's not real. It's not real. It's just you being harsh on yourself by thinking that there's a certain way to look. If you want to look good, if you want to be graceful, if you want to be pleasant, if you want to look good and presentable for the world, that would be the only way we can be, because the cool girls, they look like that's right. So if we don't look like that, we don't deserve to be in public anymore, and that's not true. And sometimes it's a good thing that we being a little bit harsh on yourself, so that it's kind of like a little push, so that we know that we have a goal, we have like a dream image in our mind that, okay, this is what I'm gonna look if I imagine a better version of myself. And maybe an aesthetics, a good aesthetics, like a good role model would present themselves like that to you. But not in a way that this is easy. Like I said, this is easy. This is like normal person things, right? So if you can do it, maybe you're a loser. No, if you portray itself as like a dream, a lifestyle goal, yeah, maybe it's better that way. Like, it's okay for you to not achieving this. There's so many aspects of it that you cannot fulfill in just one day or two, and it's not sustainable. It won't last you long. Maybe we should have a conversation like that. It's like, this is a dream. I'm selling a dream. I'm not selling a reality. I would be surprised if people out there trying to sell a course on how to be a clean girl. Yeah, I think it exists. Like, in this kind of wild world, it could be the case, of course. But I don't think that they would talk about it as, this is a dream. I'm selling a dream. I'm selling a fantasy, like a movie, like a sci-fi. But this is not reality. This is not something that you can achieve. Or maybe you can if you have that comfortable of a life, you have that great personalities, you have everything up there for you, well then you can achieve it. But like, imagine how many people in the world can actually do it. Like, no way the majority of people that are using the internet and social media as commoners would be able to do that. So it would be a lie if you don't admit that this is unreal. This is the whole thing. There's nothing as such as clean. There's nothing as such as this aesthetics. It's a stage. It's a character. This is not a real person. You have to admit it. Like, we have to admit, we have to understand it. And please, I think like the whole time I forget to talk about the makeup, but it's okay. Maybe it's not the main point of today's video, so I shouldn't feel neurotic about that. I'm gonna use the combinations of a few powder cream products for the eye look, because yes, as always, this kind of clean makeup look wouldn't require you to do a very complex eye look. Not something I'm into these days either. So I'm gonna use a Too Faced Chocolate Gold bronzer as my crease, because it's, I'm creasing. Okay, I'm gonna apply the bronzer. Why would be so neurotic about being perfect? And I think it has been proved that people mostly told me that maybe I'm too harsh on myself. Like I think I wouldn't be a very good clean girl because one of the reasons is my hair. I have a lot of flyaways, and when I told my boyfriend that, he's like, no one ever cares. Why did you care so much? We care so much about the aesthetics because we imagine that if we one day get to that point, maybe we wouldn't feel insecure anymore, but like nobody really cares. Maybe like at that point we wouldn't care anymore. So why we are so harsh on ourselves? And the people that actually trying to sell you that aesthetic, they are very neurotic about that. They care about that. There's like a group of people that really care about that, so that they try to make it as relevant, as popular as possible, so that they can draw attention to their products. But like I said, how many people can actually obtain that? Not a lot. Why should we participate in a game that is only fit for, I would say, rich people? Like I wouldn't just stay here and predict their financial situations, but I think that those girls, they are very, very well off in one way or another, and they have a lot of time to maintain their look because their look is a job. They are models, they are influencers, they post more than a regular person, so that's why maybe trust them a little bit less. I have this SEPHORA blush with me. It has this kind of like cool tone, muted lilac color, and I thought that lilac is in, like, have you seen the new lilac collections of Dior? It's quite pleasant, but I think it's just a little bit more lilac than the pink editions of whatever they already released. Yeah, I think it's cool. It's interesting to see Dior doing something like that, but maybe lilac is in, and I'm all for it. So when I said the pop of color in the beginning of the video, this is what I mean. I'm using a little bit of lilac on my crease today. Yeah, it's quite nice. I like this look. One of the best looks that I've done in a while. And finally, for the eye look, I'm going to use a little bit of the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek Highlighter in, say, Flexitarian. Oof, too much. Careful. Apply a little bit in my inner corner. It's so blinding, it's so intense. That's why I don't use highlighter anymore. I feel like it's always so intense. And you know, nowadays, because of the trend, I think they are doing more subtle highlighter. But I'm definitely not in the market for new highlighter these days. I am quite dewy right now. I'm tempted to apply some more powder. Maybe I should. This is kind of like glowy, pearly powder that I could trust to help me both ways, to give me a bit of a natural glowy finish. Also help me to control my oil. But it's very thin. So, I don't want to look too greasy. It's like, oh, it's not me, right? If it's not me, if it doesn't feel like you, maybe you shouldn't do it just because it's popular and it reminds you of something that's good but not actually good for you. And we do that all the time. We talk about dreams, we talk about goals, we talk about ambitions, we talk about plans. We always go for something that reminds us of the version of ourselves that we think that we should be. There's nothing wrong about that, but we need to draw the line between the reality and the kind of hope and ambitious world, that there are certain things that we can achieve and there's other things that we cannot. We can use that aesthetic as a motivation for ourselves to maybe to do our makeup more often, to being more skilled with the makeup, to doing more simple look, to do like more looks that we want to do, or to drink more water, to maybe to minimize our closets, like to declutter our closets. Maybe use that, but don't buy into it. Basically, don't waste your money in something that's not going to give you any long-term mental, psychological, and emotional benefit. And if you spend too much money on that, well, then you're not going to be as rich as those people that sell you those things. Overall, I don't want to make the clean girl aesthetic as like the bad guy in the scene, but in a way, I feel like if you being too toxic about it, if you feel so neurotic about that, and you feel like, okay, by doing it, I'm superior and I'm better than anyone, but then your idea, your intention is wrong. You're not. Yeah, that's basically it. Maybe you're not the bad guy. Maybe the aesthetic's not the bad guy. Maybe the people that trying to bring people down because of the classism aspect of it, they are the bad guy. So if you want to pursue that, if you think that, okay, this is so simple, this is something that I can apply every single day, maybe go for it. Like, if it's good for you, do it. But sometimes think about it. The thinking, the rationalizations of something and try to internalize it into your own personalities is very important. Maybe give it a try, give it a thing, do some experiment on it, try to list down the pros and cons of it, maybe. Not just for this kind of lifestyle and aesthetic, but for everything. Yeah. This kind of clean girl look probably always ends with a lip gloss, a clear lip gloss. I'm not gonna wear any mascara today because I don't for the last year or so. But yeah, another step would be the mascara, and then I'll finish. I finish with the look. And I think it's kind of cool. I think it's pretty. It's definitely pretty. And I already admit that this would be something that I do on day-to-day basis. Maybe it's too complicated. I would use less product, to be honest. But this is the look. This is the aesthetic. And this is just a dream. This is not real. You don't have to pursue it just because you feel like you have pressure to do it. Think about it. Try it, experiment it, and actually attempt to do it and make it stable in your life at the point that you feel like this is sustainable for you. I don't think clean girl aesthetic is bad. It's just an aesthetics. It's just a silly thing, maybe, for the most. It depends on how you think about it and how you perceive it and how you make it a meaningful lessons for your life. Maybe you think about, is it a bad thing, a good thing? But what is the meaning of it? What it can bring to your life? That's the questions. Once again, I'm Cloudy, and hopefully we see each other again. Bye.